Hey guys, this is Cam from 15, back at it with another video for you guys, and I sound like dog crap because maybe this was a premonition of me throwing up late last night and 3 in the morning. The fact that the Bears offense would look absolutely atrocious from a play calling standpoint, and then also the Bears defense, for the love of God, couldn't freaking contain a play action pass for an entire freaking first half. But I'm not gonna get one. I think we can all say that we know this team is going to be freaking bad. So I'm not going to try to get heated. But the thing that infuriates me the most, which I'm not trying to scream at the top of my lungs with an upset stomach right now, but the offensive play calling is damn near atrocious. I understand we are predominantly running freaking football team, but when you just have conservative runs over and over and over again, you know, that's not going to cut it. And I thought, which, even though it wasn't Justin Fields, didn't play particularly like great. I thought he played decent enough to get us a win. For one, it felt like he didn't struggle to get to 100 yards this game. He finished with 155 yards. Didn't really make mistakes outside of that one freaking weird fumble he had. But I thought in some parts, he pushed the ball down the field. I thought he missed a few throws that he should have threw. I still think he takes unnecessary hits. He really should just, if he's going to run the ball, just get out of bounds. Just run, get out of bounds. Don't take all these hits. Um, but the play calling wasn't good. It wasn't good. Like the first two drives, we threaded the ball down the field, and for some odd reason, go away from that. I don't know why that's the case. And then these runs up the middle, I'm just expected that that's going to be majority of the season. And that's what teams are going to do. They're going to sell it on the run. They're just going to stack the box, and they're going to start blitzing. Um, we'll talk more about the offense. Defensively, uh, they were atrocious too. Alan Williams did not have a really good called game. I don't know how it takes them an entire half to realize how to stop a play action freaking pass. Just play action. Guys don't know what they're doing. I could freaking run out there faster before these guys could. There's several times that on those play action passes, they didn't know if they needed to sell it on the run. I understand. I coach football. We tell our players on my Frost Soft team, yes, we want to stop the run, but don't freaking overcommit to the run like crazy, because that's what the Bears this entire season have been doing on these play actions. These teams have been fooling these guys on play action the entire season because they sell too hard on the run. And that's a whole issue. You know, other things that happen, stuff like that. Valus Jones fumbles, yada yada yada. We'll talk more depth, but what are my uncle's initial thoughts?
Well, I mean, just to piggyback on what you've already said, um, granted, they couldn't stop play action in the first half, but that's not what lost them the game. They did recover enough just to keep another team out of the end zone in the second half. What killed them was, I mean, they gave up over 250 yards on the ground.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
one
I
drive.
just,
There was that one drive after Tyrod Taylor gets out. They couldn't stop a damn Wildcat.
yeah, I mean, it's just they 250 yards on the ground. That's what killed them. I mean, one quarterback gets hurt, they bring in another quarterback, and second quarterback does basically the same thing in the scheme, uses the run game as a means to get, first downs via the run again. Um, but for me, Allen Williams did adjust in the second half to play action. However, that said, this has been a complaint of mine all season long. We have these undersized defensive tackles that, I mean, for all intents and purposes, they have a hard time defending the A gaps, and that's what got them. Again, they just kept running right up the middle, right up the middle, right up the middle. You take the middle away, then next thing you know, here we go. We got read option on the outsides. So, to me, the defense wasn't the problem, though. I mean, again, Justin Fields, man, he's holding on to that ball too long. There was a couple of plays in which, you know, I mean, he's waiting for a receiver to say, "Hey, I'm open." When 3-4 seconds earlier, he's open. Just throw him the damn ball. So he's holding on the ball too long. Now I will say they did go down the field with Justin. They did call some plays. Mooney did get open a lot, but when they ran play action, I mean, typically he's looking down the field. Okay, but most times when you roll out, just check down. So Justin Fields is still, granted, he's still a second-year quarterback. He's still in the mode of learning. He's still trying to get used to this position of quarterback. And, it's just another chapter in his growing pains, in which all they could muster was 4 field goals from a kicker whose first game was today.
Yeah,
That's how bad the offense was.
and I think I blame the red zone stuff on the play.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, that's true. But once the field is shrunk, yeah, I mean, it's just, you got to be able to punch that got to be able to punch it into the end zone. And as well as they were doing with a vertical offense, once that field is shrunk to the red zone, then yeah, man, all they could muster was,
I blame
3
that
points here, 3 points here. Say again?
I blame that more on the play call. He could have been more aggressive than just running.
Could have been. Could have been.
I don't really blame that on Fields in the play.
No, I don't blame the red zone stuff on Fields.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that there were some plays in which, yes, all he had to do was get rid of the ball a little quicker. Now, what he was looking at, I'm sure, is looking down the field for the big play, the big strike, and things of that nature. But he's checking down too late, but once they got into the red zone, yeah, I mean, they could have been a little bit more aggressive, but and yes, you are correct. That Getsy has shoulder some of the blame on that as well too. But Fields has got to shoulder some of the blame because again, he is holding on the ball absolutely too long. So for me, the defense was not the problem. Defense was not the problem. They were giving up field goals, man. They wasn't giving up touchdowns. Those only 2 scores was by Daniel Jones in the first quarter. So it's there. I mean, offense has just got to do better. 4 field goals from a kicker whose first game is today. That's not good. I mean, they just pulled Michael Badgley in off the street because Cairo Santos is gone. And this guy comes up with 4 field goals. That's bad.
Yeah.
That's just really bad. This offense was horrendous today.
Yeah, so I also hope Ryan Poles is looking about how bad this offense is because the offensive line was atrocious. They couldn't freaking cover blitzes whatsoever.
Yeah.
That's Ryan. Look, my thing is this: Ryan Poles in this offseason, this coming offseason, he better absolutely put every money or every penny to the offensive side of the ball. I should not see one defensive signing. Maybe one can get away with it, but this offense needs this offense needs a legitimate wide receiver one. On that one play to Dante Pettis, Fields put it a back shoulder fade throw. Pettis hits Pettis' hands, and he doesn't come down with that. And I'm like,
well, hold on. Let me say this. In Pettis' defense, that pass should have been a little bit more further to the sideline than directly in the path of the defender. When you're throwing a back shoulder, that's exactly where you throw it. You throw it towards the sideline and not on the inside where the defender is. So, I mean, the throw could have been better. Now, granted, Pettis should have still came down with it. But at the same time, though, that throw could have been better.
I don't really blame that one on Fields.
I don't blame it on Fields.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is throw could have been better. To me, it's fault on both sides. Pettis still should have came down with it. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
He still should have came down with it, but I would have hoped that pass would have been a little bit further on the inside towards the sideline than, I should say, on the outside towards the sideline than the inside towards the cornerback. I think that's what the back shoulder pass is meant to be. So, but be that as it may, Pettis still got his hands on it.
Yep.
He got to an elevated position where he got his hands on it and just didn't come down with it.
Yeah, I think, like I said, Poles, he needs to do something to, he needs to get a number one receiver, first draft pick, if it's a high one, and they're still bought on Fields if they're not going to take a quarterback, I guess. It's got to be a receiver. It's got to be a receiver, and then you freaking do something in terms of that offensive line. I'm still getting sick and tired of Sam Mustipher freaking starting games. If Lucas Patrick is able to snap in practice, puts Lucas Patrick there. He does not look impressive at guard right now, which it's starting to question me. Maybe he's better at center, but he's still getting pushed around. Again, I'm seeing Sam Mustipher get ragdolled around at center. There was one play, I think it was Leonard Williams or something like that, or Lawrence or whatever. Literally throws Sam Mustipher out the way, and it almost leads to a sack right there.
Well, Williams is doing it to everybody. I mean, I saw it. He did it to, Jenkins. I saw he did it to Patrick. I mean, they moved him around quite a bit so that he could have the physical advantage no matter where he was on the defensive line. Yeah, the offensive line was not good as well, especially in pass protection. I mean, well, in pass protection, offensive line just hasn't been really good all year long.
Yeah. This is the first game they weren't good in the run game either.
Yeah. Well, typically,
But I'm not shocked at that because I made a tweet. I said eventually Lou Getsy's gonna have to stop with this conservative play calling and just have Justin just try to throw the ball down the field and test these defenders, because all they're gonna do, and we made a mention of this like a few weeks ago, all teams are gonna do now is what the Giants just did today. They're gonna stack the box and they're gonna be like, okay, Justin, throw the ball down the field.
Throw the ball. We know you're not. Like, for example, 17 seconds in the game. 17 seconds in the game. I'm sorry. At that particular moment, the game is over. So just take a chance and go down the field. Why are you checking down with 17 seconds on the clock at that particular moment? You had a lane in the pocket to throw the football down the field. Let's just see what happens. But he didn't. He checked down, and then the next play, he ran out of bounds. I'm like, dude, at some point, you have to trust your receivers to do something. I mean, in 17 seconds, your only option is to go down the field and accept the results of whatever happens, because at that particular moment, the game is over anyway. So take a chance. He didn't. He checked down, and then he ran out of bounds. I'm like, dude, come on now. This is really getting ridiculous. It's clear for me from where I sit, there are certain people you just don't trust. Either you don't trust them or you just don't see. And in that particular case, something is wrong with Justin Fields.
It's 17 seconds. I'm not looking too much into that.
Yeah, but still, though, all I'm saying is that at some point, you got to be aggressive. You do. Now there were moments in the game when he was aggressive, but it seemed like to me the only time it was aggressive was when it was obvious that you were in one-on-one man coverage. But in that particular case, go down the field. I mean, just show some type of, hey, you know what? This game is over. Let me just see what comes of it. Let's just see what comes. I'm going to trust these guys. I'm going to trust Brown. I'm going to trust Mooney. I'm going to trust them. I'm going to trust Pettis. I'm going to trust just to see what happens. They are running down the field, 17 seconds. Let's see what comes of it. Didn't even try. And he's got the arm strength to go down the field. Didn't even try it. I just thought that was just. Yeah. And I know, again, sometimes I can get real nitpicky with this stuff, but to me, that particular sign right there just tells me that somebody doesn't have faith. Either Fields don't have faith in himself, or Getsy does not have faith in Fields at this particular moment. There's a disconnect somewhere. There is.
I just think it's just the offense being complete dog crap.
Yeah. Could be.
So
yeah, when you take chances, a lot of that stuff can work itself out. A lot of that stuff will work itself out. I mean, just trust. just don't throw the ball blindly across the middle like he did against the Texans. But at the same time, though, I mean, going down the sideline for a deep pass, yeah, that's fine. And he did that a couple times. Great. But I'm just like, man, call some more plays like that, Getsy, so that he'll take more chances going down the field. Didn't. Maybe it's because the Giants, changed their coverage. I noticed a lot they were in a one deep shell. So I mean, that typically means man coverage.
Oh yeah, their defensive coordinator likes to blitz a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And if you see man coverage, man, go right for it. Go right for it.
Yeah.
But the offense sucked. I don't think there was one part of the offense that I found that was to my liking. I liked the defense. I really did. To me, the defense played great. Eddie Jackson was all over. Kendall Vildor was fantastic. Now granted, the wide receiver, they were missing 3 wide receivers, and even a 4th went down in this game. So I mean, they pretty much were relegated to the run game, just like, any other team that would have just lost 4 wide receivers. So but at the same time, man, and it, and they still got 250 yards on the ground. I granted that's defense, but defense, man, I'm telling you, defense was pretty good in the second half. They were pretty good in the second half. So it's not too much I can say that's wrong about the defense.
I thought the defense was all right, but it could have been better. But that's just my opinion.
Well, first half, yeah, but I mean, you only give up what 6 points, 2 field goals in the second half. That's what you want out of your defense. Give up field goals.
Yeah,
But it's up to the offense to take advantage.
that's
For
true.
me, the defense was great. Offense just didn't take advantage of what the defense was giving them.
Yeah. One final thing. I thought Fields' best pass of the day was that deep one to Darnell Mooney. How we still didn't get a touchdown on that, I don't know. There was one thing also, I think it was one of the field scrambles. He had Darnell Mooney wide open in the middle of the field and he didn't throw it. Don't know why he elected to run. But the last thing I wanted to say, we brought Velus Jones. He's healthy now. He fumbled the ball, so great job, Poles. Your freaking punt return.
Well, it was his first game. I mean, he was
I don't
probably.
care. I don't care. He already
Yeah,
had preseason action.
you got to cut the guy some slack. I mean, it's his first game. Once he gets those butterflies in his stomach out the way and get him a couple games under the belt, I think Velus Jones will be just fine.
I'm still not sold on that
We
pick.
can't expect him to be Devin Hester.
I'm not expecting that, but this is the guy that Poles took as his wide receiver, and
he's a rookie. He's a rookie. Yeah, to me, what he did was expected. He was a rookie. He's supposed to make his mistake. He's expected. Just like Kyler Gordon, he got beat a couple of times. He got beat with a pass interference.
you might not like my Kyler Gordon take because I'm already freaking.
Well, I mean, he's a rookie. It's
I
not
don't.
like it's not like Kyle Fuller.
I
He
think
ain't Kyle Fuller
Kyle
yet.
Fuller was
He
10.
got at least Kyler Gordon will play some man coverage, unlike Kyle Fuller. And you liked Kyle Fuller.
I like Kyle Fuller.
Yeah, you like Kyle Fuller, Mr. Zone Coverage himself. Everybody in man but him.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, okay.
Cover better than freaking Kyler Gordon.
That's why where is he playing now?
He's hurt right now. He was in Baltimore.
Oh, really? He's in Baltimore. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. All right.
But the last thing,
at least Kyler Gordon plays man coverage. I'll say that. Play no man coverage at all.
The last thing I want to say about Velus, where was he on the offense? Because I saw him get no reps.
No, he wasn't on the offense at all. He was just special teams. Again, he got no time, man. He was out with a hamstring injury.
He needs to get offensive reps. Poles drafted me the right receiver. That's when the special team stuff. That's when I can understand. But if you drafted this guy, the only draft as a wide receiver of the team, no, he needs to play offensive reps. So Luke he needs to get him in there because he's a fast guy. If he can beat people over the top and open up things for the other receivers, Well, then why is he not out there? That's my only question.
Well, he's a
Defense,
rookie. He's a rookie.
I don't care.
I don't. I'm not knocking it now one bit. Now if this becomes habitual between the next game after that, and the next game after that, then yeah, we can, revisit Bayless Jones. But right now, his first game after missing the first three,
Yep.
in the last couple games of the preseason, yeah, man, I'm pretty sure his stomach was in total knots. But we expected the Bears. Well, I mean, I picked the Bears to lose the game anyway, but that don't mean I'm happy about it. You would think that by them going on the road, a lot of the distractions that normally comes when you're at home will leave you once you're on the road. But unfortunately, nothing changed.
Yep. Going over the defense. I particularly think the defense didn't have the best game. I still thought they missed a lot of tackles. The one missed tackle I think upset me the most was probably that Nicholas Morrow one where he had Saquon there, and then he
That's
stopped
right.
him. And then I think the other one was also Roquan. He had a great game last week, and then he was kind of a no-show this week. Again, no consistency from Roquan. You want to get the money, I'm gonna hold you accountable. You gotta freaking make plays, and he wasn't making plays this game. Um Defensively, like I said, I thought it was fine for the most part, but it could have been better. The play action still infuriated me how much they freaking got fooled on that. And then my last point, I understand my uncle, he says Kyler Gordon's rookie, but I'm sorry. At some point, um, me personally, as a coach, I'm taking his ass out. I'm being plain and simple. I might kill his confidence and everything, but dude, that Green Bay game did him no favors. Aaron Rodgers found him as a target, and now guess what? Other teams are picking on him. They're picking on him in the run game, picking on him on the play action game, just picking on him deep. He would have got burnt if not for Eddie Jackson coming over top, getting that interception. I'm sorry. I may be in the minority because he's a rookie, but honestly, at some point, enough is enough. I think he needs to get benched and be like, you need to sit down and just watch and get practice reps because at some point you're being more of a hindrance to the team than an asset. And that makes me question, well, then why did Poles freaking draft this guy when we could have won offense? But that's just me. My uncle obviously has his opinions.
Yeah, like I say, he's just a rookie. You can't expect a rookie to, play Pro Bowl football. You know. Brisker, on the other hand, played great second half. When they actually picked up play action, Brisker actually got a sack.
Yeah.
But again, Gordon, Jones, Brisker, rookies, man. I mean, you know, rookies. It's not very often that you get a rookie that comes in and just automatically gets it. So, Kyler is a rookie. Now, granted, that Eddie Jackson interception, yeah, that was a bad throw. He just hung that up like what that, and Eddie had all the time in the world to get over and go get it. But and yeah, Kyler did get beat, but you know, he's a rookie. I mean, again, we can't expect great things, out of a rookie from week to week. He is going to make mistakes. And yes, a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers would actually make those mistakes, tenfold. But, and I think this was really the only mistake that Kyler Gordon actually made in coverage, I think. So
He made more.
really didn't see much of them on the defense, you know. But like I said before, defense only gave up 2 field goals in the second half.
Yeah.
I mean, and as the commentator said, the Bears as the defense haven't given up a touchdown in the second half all season long. It's their offense. If this defense stays the course the way they're staying, and they're going to be really good. They gotta have an offense that is just as good. This offense is just, whether it's Getsy, when Getsy calls the right play, Fields holds the ball too long. When Getsy calls a bad play, man, it's just like,
There's no consistency.
it's just. I mean, if there is one consistent thing about the Bears offense, is that they are just, it's just bad.
Yeah.
It's just bad. The defense is doing a heck of a lot to cover up for the insufficiencies of the offense.
Before we get out of here, the one last thing I kind of also want to say that he didn't like from the defense, I felt like they really didn't get any pressure like I thought they would. Um, and that's just me this entire season. They really haven't been getting any pressure on any
Nope.
quarterbacks. And I think
That's
that,
because teams are running the ball on them.
yeah, and I
They're
definitely
running
think
the
that needs
ball
to
on
be
them.
better.
Bears are not putting themselves in passing situations so they can dig their heels down and get after the quarterback. I mean, 250 yards on the ground. The Giants aren't throwing the football.
I do think Robert Quinn, he needs to be better. And I'm starting to think eventually um it's gonna be the thing where Ryan Poles might try to trade him. And now that his P or what do they call it? His trade value is pretty much diminishing because he really hasn't done anything this year.
Correct.
You can look at Ryan Poles by saying, well, if you traded Khalil Mack away and you knew you're not going to have a good football team, why not just trade a guy who came off with 18 sacks and at least get a quality draft pick out of it?
Correct.
Now, when the trade deadline comes, if you wonder why the Bears don't end up getting maybe potential late second round or early or high third round pick for Robert Quinn, and you wonder why did they get Robert Quinn for maybe a fourth or a fifth or maybe a sixth? Well, because the dumb GM didn't trade him at his highest value when before the season. But we can talk about that at another point in day whenever that happens. But again, I kind of just look at the games this way. It kind of makes me get a reality check of the Bears are just a bad football team. They're just a bad football team.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, right now, what do we predict? 5-12 or something like that, or
Something like that.
6-11.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming true to form because this offense can't generate any points, and the defense can only do so much. So, me personally, I thought that they should have traded Robert Quinn. I think they should have traded Roquan. If you didn't want to sign him, dump him, trade him.
Yeah,
trade him. And right now, no one's gonna take him because they know they can get him in the offseason.
Yep.
Well,
Robert Quinn has to be traded because he's still got
he's still in the contract. He's got what, maybe two more years under his contract.
I think actually
maybe three.
I think three.
Yeah, maybe three. He signed a 5-year 84. I think it was 5-year 84 million or 5-year 80 million or something like that. But
yeah, Poles definitely has to fix this offense, and that's just adding whatever he can to make it better. But
that's true. I don't know if a big time wide receiver.
He has to draft it. He has
to get a big time wide receiver. That's clear. But man, for me, Fields. It starts and ends with the quarterback. I mean, if Fields is your guy, then get between his ears. And I don't know what is going on, but he is holding the ball too long. He is not taking chances. He basically got the check down. He got the check down done before he's supposed to check down. He's holding it too long. And he is making mistakes. He's making, granted, second year, but he's making some serious mistakes that he's gotta learn from. And I think the learning curve is going to be short with him.
I thought it was his best game by far, but yeah, there's still mistakes that were made in this game. But hey, at least he played subsequently better than the first three games. I'll say that.
I mean, it's still a progression. He played better, but then again, he called plays to go down the field. So, We'll see what goes on next week, but
Well, I don't think it's going to be pretty good next week because we got the Vikings next week.
got the Vikings.
So I expect that game to be a full out blowout.
Defense is good. I think the defense will be fine.
Really take your chances with Kyler Gordon and Justin Jefferson because you know they're going to do it.
They are not going to put Kyler Gordon on Justin Jefferson. They may try to motion him in certain areas to see, but they're not going to start with no.
Okay.
I can't see that. You may have a situation where Jefferson is on him, but it's not going to come whereas it's automatic.
Yep.
And on top of that, Jalen Johnson, they need to do something with him too, man, because he's ticking me off as well.
Jalen Johnson not playing. He didn't play.
I know he's missed the last 2 games, but when he is playing, he's
Jalen Johnson's been one of the best players on the Bears defense. He's been locking people down.
Statistically. Well, you know what? Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. I'm not just totally, off the Jalen Johnson bandwagon. I'm not off, but but gotta be better,
Yeah.
But again, this year, for me, and we knew what was going to happen this year. It's going to be a rebuild. So it's going to be some growing pains. And let's see what Poles is going to do. We're only 4 games in. They're 2-2. I think they're a heck of a lot better than what we thought they were going to be 4 games in. So we'll see.
We'll see. But anyways, we're going to get over, guys. I don't even know if I'm going to check out any of the late games because all the late games look like dog crap.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and that Viking. But I will tell you that Vikings New Orleans game, that was a great game.
At least we Bear fans can actually pass the torch of double doink to another team for the time being.
That was a great game. I don't know how many. I don't ever recall if Lutz would have hit that 61-yarder. I can't ever recall a game. I don't even think there has been a game in which a kicker hit 2 60-yarders in one game. I mean, and he had it too. Just man, that was a great game.
Yep.
Game.
Yeah, my Bears MVP of the game, I guess, is our kicker, Bagley.
Yep, Michael Badgley.
So
yep,
that's
first
it.
game, right off the street. Only been in Hallis Hall 3 days, 2 days, and he comes up first game on the road, kicks 4 field goals.
Yep,
right down the middle too.
Yeah, we'll take it. We'll take it.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Cairo Santos, his personal issues will be good by next week. So
whatever they are, but at the same time, kicker wasn't a problem today.
Yeah.
So,
anyways, guys, we're gonna get out of here. So we'll catch you guys in the next video. Next week for our Bears recap against the Minnesota Vikings. And then I believe after that we have the Washington Commanders, which is a winnable game, but we'll see about that. But other than that, our next video will be next week against the Vikings. But altogether, next NFL video will be our Week 4 recap and Week 5 predictions. I'm kind of kicking myself because I had to get my haircut done this morning, so I didn't see majority of these morning games.
What hair are you talking about?
It got cut a bit. I got a bald fade.
Okay. Yeah, you had to get your hair cut.
So yeah, definitely can't wait to talk about a lot of things for going into next week, like especially the Mitchell Trubisky game bench, which I called that. So the Mitchell Trubisky truthers who are still out there in the Bears scheme of things, well, he's done his job.
And I put Chase Claypool in my fantasy league because Michael Thomas got hurt, and I'm just sitting over here like, man, Trubisky just.
Yep. Now he's benched. Now he's career backup now.
Yeah.
So
Kenny Pickett and now I bet you they go down the field with him.
Yep, they did.
Yeah.
We'll see. But anyways, guys, catch you guys in the next video. Till then, guys, stay safe out there. And I hope by next week I sound and I feel better. Till then, guys, peace.